So in order to access Azure, you have to go to portal.azure.com. You need to enter your credentials. This is how it looks. So this is the front page of Azure where you can find n number of options. This is the left pane where you find different services. This is the dashboard that you can create and organize as per your requirement. So you can organize different number of things in your dashboard. It could be the front page where you start working every day. So here's the portal settings. You can change the look of this portal from here. Like I came to the just a second. So when I started, I landed on the page home. But I do not want this. I want customized dashboard. So there should be n number of thing here, here, here. This could be my virtual machine running. This could be my performance counter of the machine. This should indicate subscription. So you can tag n number of thing on your dashboard. And when you will start logging into portal.azure.com, it will show different page, not like just our normal page. And it will be automatically customized as per your requirement. So you set this requirement, you change theme, you change other things as well, default settings, and you can customize it. So like I do not want home page. I want dashboard to come first. So I will set it dashboard. I can change it's a fly out or docked, how it looks. So where I need to click over this in order to get all this tab. But when I selected docked, it will be automatically appearing over here. I can change my theme like black, so it will look different. So there are a number of themes. They provide 4 themes. I can change contrast level like white, black, or none. So this is the first thing we see at Azure Cloud Computing. That is either home page or my dashboard. And we can customize this as per our requirement. Second, it comes to subscription. So in order to work with Azure, you need to have at least one subscription. As of now, in this account, I am using sponsorship Azure Pass sponsorship subscription. It will provide me $100 for a month. So when it comes to subscription, there will be a certain limit assigned to you. I can go over here and I can check my balance. So there is Azure Pass sponsorship link. I can directly input this link over here and I can log in and see how much days are left. I started out this account on 29th of November and it will end out 29th of December. Total remaining amount is $100 and this is the only subscription I've got. So subscription is basically what you use at Azure services. So up to $100 I can build any services, use these services, build server, website, web apps, anything, and I can use them. Second thing is, suppose I want to set some alert, like I'm building a machine and I'm building other storage devices and all VM, storage, database, some web services. So I'm building these services and instead of creating or setting up of limit on any of these particular services, I can set the whole limit, or I can set alert on this. So in order to set alert, I came to subscription. I selected my subscription. I went to billing part. Sorry, I went to manage tab. Selected this. I will be redirected to another page. Over here, I can set up alert for my account. I can check my usage and all. So you can see, as of now, I have no current balance. The reason, I'm using the credit, Azure credit, that is of $100. Just a second. Guys, am I audible? Or any one of you having any issues hearing me?
Can hear you.
Nikhil, you're audible, but there is a background sound as well. Now it is fine.
I think that background sound is coming from someone else.
Okay.
So I will mute everyone else except for me. Okay.
It's still coming. Now it's yeah.
CEOs, I guess. Now is it okay? Satul, am I okay? Is there any other background noise?
I think it's fine. We can.
Okay. Okay. So I'll start over here. So I came to another page from my subscription. From subscription, I click managed. I came to another page. This is the part where I can see my current balance. If I have existing balance, or I can see my remaining credits. So this is my remaining credit. You can see it's 100 US dollar. Same thing, I came from the manage page. And apart from that, one thing I would like to show you is the alert part. So I can set up my alert on my subscription that I can spend $50, and once $50 is spent, I will get alert. So right now this feature is in preview mode. So I have to go to preview feature. I need to select this, try it now since it is in preview right now.
Sir, in the meantime, I have a question.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
what what is difference between this balance and the credit? It is shown as zero as balance and
Okay.
$100 as credit.
So credit is when you are using Azure Pass or any free subscription.
Okay.
So when it comes to credit, you can deploy only Azure native services. So when it comes to Azure, you have marketplace. Where they have other vendors as well, like Checkpoint or VMware or Cisco and number of vendors. So you cannot use these vendors from your credit point. So when you deploy their services over Azure, there will be some money charged. So you cannot use this credit. You need to have balance. And when you enroll for pay as you go, you will get some balance or limit. Suppose you got limit of 10K. So over there you can use your services for different marketplaces, vendors, or you can use Azure native services. So this is the primary difference between balance and credit.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So I selected it right now. I have enrolled for this service. Then I will return back to. Okay, I came back to portal. So I have to go back to manage same page. I think Azure has disabled this preview feature. This was I'm looking for has been removed and its name changed. Okay, it's here. So I need to set up a alert. So I will go to add alert. Can name it. I can select any amount like $50 or sorry in rupees 50 rupees or 5K, and I will set up one email ID where I should get alert. Suppose I have set up my email ID or any email ID and I will save. This alert will be automatically set up. And when you will start building services. So once that limit 5K is reached, you will automatically get alert over your mail that your 5K is reached and you need to act accordingly. So this is the one of feature of Azure where you set up alerts in order to make sure that you have spending in limit and you do not go beyond that. Next, it comes to cost analysis. When you will build any services at Azure in this subscription, you will find an option of cost analysis where you will see actual cost you have spent. Right now, there is no services running in this subscription. Once I will start building services, it will show me actual cost, forecast, what I will be spending at the end of the month, and what is my budget that I can afford for this. And it will also show me graph how I am spending. So I can see this same thing on the another logging. Give me a minute. So this is my personal subscription. We'll go to my subscription part. We'll go to cost analysis. So right now it's showing I have spent 14 rupees this month. My forecast will be at the end of this my billing cycle, that will be November 20 to 19 December. So on 19 December my cycle will be renewed. So this is my forecast and this is my budget. As I'm spending this much amount. So I can increase this budget as per my requirement. And when I will go below this, it will show me where I'm spending this money. Like this is the yellow on storage part. I have built a storage where my services are running. So on storage, spending 14 rupees. This is the central monitor part I'm using. Here I'm spending another 14 rupees and there is another cloud shell. So it will show all the details where I'm spending this money. Next, we'll see subscription policies. So what is policy? Suppose I'm building any machine, like I'm building some virtual machine. So you can see there are n number of options in when I build a virtual machine, like in which region I want my machine to be deployed, either in East US, US2, Central, it could be India. If I will search India, I can find the region in India. So where I need to deploy this service, or there are other options as well, like which type of machine, what SKU I want to build. So there are n number of sizes. You can see here. So there are general purpose size, which has one virtual CPU, 3.5 GB of RAM, data disk, maximum IO apps, temporary storage they provide, and cost I will be incurred at the end of the month. So there are different parameters when you are building the virtual machine. Apart from that, there are certain things I want to do, certain things I do not want to do. So I can implement a policy where I can restrict anyone to use certain services or not to use certain services. Or I can let users to build certain virtual machines, certain location, disks should be encrypted and all. So here's the policy part. Came to policy. Right now showing 100% compliance. So I have not set up any policy. Once I will start building a policy, then it will show the actual compliance. So if I have built 10 virtual machines running, and do they all meet my requirement, my policy requirement? If yes, it will be 100%. If no, if 9 out of 10 meet, it would be 90% compliance. And when I will start, that was the preset compliance. When I will start building new virtual machine, new storage, new server, new web apps, it won't allow me to build that service. So if my location is in India only, and I have two virtual machines running in East US and second one is in India. So as of now, my compliance will be 50%. Okay. And when I will start building another machine, I won't be able to build any machine in US, UK, Europe, Africa. It will be automatically restrict me to build any machine, and I have to build that machine in India only. So I will give you a demo how it works. So I will create one policy. So I will go to assignment. I will assign one policy. They are predefined template, or you can manually customize your template as well. So right now we'll see predefined template. So here I'm creating one policy. My subscription is this. When it comes to Azure, suppose there is one company named Ericsson. It has 10 departments. So out of 10 department, one is IT, second is security. There's another department, finance. So they can have different subscription, like subscription 1, sub 1, sub 2, sub 3. So when I'm defining any policy, so I need to select first of all scope where I want to put this policy, either on sub 1 or sub 2 or sub 3, or when it comes to hierarchy, there is one more thing, management group sitting over all these subscription. So hierarchy work like this: management group, subscription, resource group. So I can put this policy either on management group. If I will put this policy on management group, it will be inherited to all. If I will put this policy on the subscription, it will be inherited to below subscription. So this is how it works. So I need to select where I want to set up this policy. So I have only one subscription running. I have selected this. Do I want any exclusion? Like if I'll go, I will select, like I have two things running on the cloud. That is, first one is storage, storing any data. Second one is network watcher, that is for the monitoring part. So I can select any one of these. If I will select this, or if I have any sub resource group running, I can select that resource group apart from these. So whatever policy I create over here, it won't be implemented on this. So there will be exclusion for this. My subscription, there is one resource group name Cloud Shell Storage Central India. Any policy I'm building won't be implied on this. Next, what type of definition? So I can select any number of definition. As of now, Azure has pre-built 478 definition. It depends on requirement. Later when we'll see different type of services and virtual machines and all, then we'll see how these policies changes with different things. So as of now, I'm selecting allowed location. Select allow assignment name, allowed location. I can put in any description over here. Next is comes to policy. So do I want to enforce this policy, or is it just for compliance check? So if I just want to check compliance, I will disable this. So Azure won't stop me to build any virtual machine, any storage, any services. It will just show compliance as 100%, 90%, 80%. If I will enforce it, it will restrict me to build that service. So as of now, it's enabled. Then next I will select this. So I selected the allowed location. So I have to select that location over here. Suppose I'm selecting Central India. So I selected Central India. I will go next. Next, create. Since I selected Central India, I will be able to create any virtual machine, any storage unit, anything only in Central India. So when I will see overview, Since there is no pre-built thing, it's 100% compliance. So it's not started yet. It might take some time to start this policy. So once this policy is started, it might change the compliance part. Like when I will see my existing resources, those are running. So this is running Central India and another one is running in East US. Since this is out of my policy, so compliance will be reduced to 50%. So it might take some time. I will go ahead with other things for now. Once it is started, then I will give you demo on the policy, how it works. Or I can show you over here. So when I will go to virtual machine and I will start building any virtual machine. If this policy is started, so it won't let me create anything apart from Central India, like selected, created new resource group, test, test. My location is East US, no infrastructure, redundancy. I will build Windows Server. I will select any machine. We'll go to review and create. So when policy is in force, it will automatically stop and give me error that you are not allowed to build any services over here. It's not yet started. That's why I'm saying this. Sometimes it takes time for any policy to start. So I'll show you other thing first, and once this is started, then I will give you demo how it will stop me from creating any resource apart from Central India.
Nikhil sir, are you speaking anything because we are not able to hear you?
Am I audible now?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here comes another thing, that is, let me refresh this. So we'll move ahead and I will give you demo later once it is just started. So next is resource group. So what is resource group? It's a logical boundary. And guys, you should have told me that I was speaking on mute. So it's a logical boundary where you keep metadata of resources that you built over Azure. So I built VM1, VM2, Oracle database, Cisco firewall, ASA or any other, storage, web server, website. So I built different n number of services inside this resource group. So initially it's a management group that sits at the top. Then it's subscription. Subscription is just like credit card. And then resource group. Inside this resource group, you build services. So it's a container or logical boundary where you build different of resources. Inside this resources, they are resource group, they are resources. So when it comes to building any service, there Azure East US, suppose there is East US. This is India. This is Europe. You can build services over East US. You can build services over India. You can build services over Europe. And you can build resource group in particular region. So there is no restriction like I am building this resource at resource group at East US. So everything that comes under this resource group should be in East US itself. No, there is no such restriction. You can build any services in India location, Europe location, East US location, and your resource group can be created only on one location. So what it does, it will keep metadata or information of all the resources that exist inside this resource group. So resources are deployed at different location, but we have metadata. So what is the benefit of resource group? Suppose I was using n number of service for my Europe office. Services was at different location. After sometimes I do not want Europe office to exist. I want to destroy everything or take the backup and remove everything for the Europe office. So what I does, I will directly delete this resource group. Once this resource group is deleted, complete metadata is gone. Once metadata is gone, all your services are destroyed automatically. So you, in order to create any service, you need to create resource group first. Either you can directly create resource group and then deploy services, or you can start building a services and inside services, you can create new resource group. Okay, any doubt in this? You were speaking something,
Yeah, I was
Mayank?
saying, can you please explain the management group? I mean, resource group, we build the resources and everything, but what is the exact significance of the management group?
In short, management group is something that sits at the top. The purpose is for the management of every subscription. Like this is the company Ericsson. It has n number of accounts running. So we have n number of subscription. Suppose we have to implement a policy or we have to create a service. So we have to create the service or implement a policy at each individual level. And this came almost 5 to 6 months ago. So they what Azure want in order to integrate all this service into one, so that if I want something centralized for everything, I should centralize on this management group. So if I will implement any policy, it will be automatically inherited. Okay.
Okay, got it. So rather than doing it individually, we can do it from a central location.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Next is one last thing before we start Active Directory, that is tagging. So what tagging is? Tagging is nothing. It's like I have suppose I have my mobile and I went to Akshadam temple. So guard sitting at the locker box. I have mobile, I have laptop. They will tag my name. This belongs to Nikhil Pandey. This belongs to Nikhil Pandey. And he will keep this either in common box or in separate box. So when it comes to retrieving my data or collecting any information, how much things I do have or what sort of things I have, or these things are secure or not, he will tag my name or my cheat on that my device. Tagging is similar to this cheat. If I'm building n number of resources over the cloud, and suppose these resources belong to IT department, this resource belong to security department, and this resource is common for all. So how I will separate billing? How will I know how to separate billing? They can be meshed, they can be in different things. So billing can be separating by putting tag. So I will put tag, this is for security tag, this is for IT tag, this is common, it will be divided. So once I need to generate the billing, I will sort by tag. So when I will sort by tag, I can pull up the report for the security one or IT one or common one, and I can make it total cost. That is the one thing. There is another thing like security compliance. Certain regions like China have a lot of security compliance that their resources cannot be go outside China, and I'm building a number of resources. So I can tag them with China C resources. So when some auditor from China government will come, so he will sort these things with this tag. This is China tag. He will sort these resources and will see, okay, these belong to China boundary only. So our data is not going outside and we are good to go. Compliance is met. Or some other case like this minimum needs security level, like I do not want any keys, encryption keys to be stored at Azure. So auditor will come, select sort it by tag, and we'll see are these tags and their keys belong to China region or they are reside in any other region. So that's the purpose. of tagging. Just short demo on tagging. So if I will go to any existing my resource, so here it is. I can name tag, I can give any value I want up to 256 character. There's one more thing, that tags are not inherited. Inherit नहीं होते वो. So in simple terms, if I have management group sitting at the top, subscription to subscription sitting below, then resource group, and then VM1, VM2. So if I'm tagging management group with tag IT, so it won't be inherit like they all will be tagged with IT. No, you need to manually tag them. So if I want certain resources to be certain tagged, I have to go to that resource or resource group and then I will tag it. It's not inherited. So when I came to my existing resource, that is network watcher, and I will go to tag, I can add any tag like test1 value something, apply. So any resources I want for the testing purpose, I can give the same tag and later I can sort them all. Okay, let's come to Active Directory part. So what is Active Directory? In short, just like telephone directory, there are records set record inside Active Directory like name, email ID, could be phone number or any other like some identification, and apart from that it contain records. There's another thing, that is authentication. So authentication record like your username, your password exist in this Active Directory. So you store your username, password, and it goes into these records, and later when you authenticate either your laptop, any other application that belongs to your organization or certain organization, or use any other services, all these services can be integrated with this Active Directory. So using one password, you can authenticate n number of services instead of using like over here 3 password. So it could be used for authentication. It could be used for different other purposes like multi-factor implementation, authentication, and other services. So I will give you a short demo on Active Directory. So this is my Azure login page. I can go Active Directory from here. This is the view of Active Directory. So you can see here is the record set. Users, you can create groups like I have 100 users in my organization and they all belongs to different groups or scenario or department. So I want n number of access only to IT department and n number of access or certain access only to finance department. So I can create a group and group will consist of users. So here's the group. I will create a group. I will have users inside this group and I will provide them access to the group. So when I will give access to the group, all the users will automatically get this access instead of giving access to each and individual user. There are other things as well, and later one by one we'll see everything. So you can see users, group, external identity, roles, and administrative ID role I need to assign on users. There are app registration and other parts as well. AD Connect, we'll see it later. So here you can see user. So I can define either our internal user, just a second. Okay, I can define either our internal user that belong to my Active Directory, or I can invite any external user that might belong to any other organization. So from here, I can create a new user for my account, create user. And his login credential or ID will be like ashit@learnforeveroutlook.com. This will be his ID. Ashit. I won't configure name and last name later. I can create setup password, initial password. I can select the usage location from where he will use this account. There are different purpose of this location. Either to sort users like, okay, there are 10 users from India, 20 users from America, so I can sort them. Second thing is they have one thing named as PIM, Privilege Identity Management. What it does, it monitor or it restrict a policy to make sure that user log in only from this location. So there are identity management and other things. Suppose I belong to India. Today I log in from India. After 4 hours, I am logging from Africa region. From the IP address, it will automatically determine that this user 4 hours ago login from the India. Now he's login from the Africa. That is not possible. He cannot travel so far within 4 hours. That this might be the suspicious activity because this user was the India-based location and earlier he logged in from the India. So this user's location plays an important part when defining any user in the Active Directory. I can define job title, department, and other thing as well, and create this user. So once this user is created, he can go to portal.azure.com and log in using this ID. I will create each and every one of your ID and will share the credentials so that you can log in and check by the end of today, end of the day. So this user will have this credential and he will be able to log in this portal using this ID. So I created this user from the Active Directory here. Second, I can create groups. I can assign people to this group. The group could be two types like security and Office 365, Microsoft 365. The purpose of Microsoft 365 is for the users who are using O365 applications. So it's for the security purpose. This group is for the security purpose. I created a learning group. I can select the members. So I selected a sheet, added a sheet to this group. Great. I can even select one owner of this group. So here I created this learning. I can add n number of users. Ashit, Vishesh, Nikhil, and they will be all tagged with learning. So they belongs to learning group. And when I will go to give in any roles or access to this user. So there are 10 users in my account. So there are 10 users in my account and I want these three to be administrator of Azure. So I can access this, I can provide this role, admin role, to directly to this group. So I don't have to go to each and individual and assign this role. So I will provide this access, admin access to this group, and they will automatically get this access for the admin role. That is the another purpose of the Active Directory and groups. There are other features we'll see one by one later. So this was the demo part. Let me explain few things about Active Directory and then we'll come back again to demo and we'll see other things in the Active Directory. So we are talking about Azure. But in general, there is one organization, any organization has got its own Active Directory. There is one cloud, Azure. It has got its own Active Directory. So these are two different Active Directory. This belong to on-premises. This is Azure Active Directory. This, when it comes to Azure Active Directory, it's a modern service. You can sync it with on-premises. So suppose I have 10 record set on this Active Directory, and when I will sync it, they will all be reflected over here. So now when record set are synced, any user sitting outside the location or any location, he want to access some Azure service, any server, any access that he has been provided. So earlier he was going to this Active Directory, then he was authenticated by the Active Directory, then he will go to service and start using this service. Now Azure came into the picture. This organization earlier was only on premises. Now it has got Azure Cloud as well. Their directories are synced. So he can use same credential. He can sync it with the Azure Active Directory and he can start using any app either on premises application or any other application. Earlier he has to go to this Active Directory. Now he can directly go to this Active Directory when accessing any application portal, anything, and he will get reply back if you are authenticated or not. If you are authenticated, you can directly access this app or on premises app. So you can use this Active Directory for authentication for any app either on premises or cloud.
Nikhil sir, again, your voice is not coming.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So when it comes to any organization inside your company, any company, Wipro, Sun, Egon Zender, you have on premises. Inside on premises, there is one server running. Inside server or any sort of server, there is either Windows server running or Linux server running. So over here we are discussing about Windows Active Directory. So Windows server is running, and inside this Windows server there is one Active Directory. So inside that machine there is Windows server, operating system. You can see Windows server as OS, operating system, and inside this operating system there is Active Directory running. There can be n number of other your branch offices. There could be other services running you at your data center. So when Azure Active Directory came into the picture, they will allow you to integrate all these services. Azure Active Directory. So now you can integrate your on-premises, sync it with this. Suppose branch offices are using n number of services, or they are accessing applications and all. So now all of them can use a single platform, that is Azure Active Directory, for authentication purpose. So earlier, suppose my on-premises services were located at India, my servers or data center was in India, and another user that is trying to access from Europe. So he might be restricted, like he has to go all the way from Europe to India for the authentication or accessing any app, and then he has to come back. Now, since it is centralized, you can deploy or create any number of services at any location. So suppose this user are at Europe, I will deploy virtually one of my application server over Europe, and user can directly authenticate the Azure Active Directory from Europe location. So I can build any server at any location. I can centralize this Active Directory in order to make sure that all the services work perfectly at one central point.
Nikhil, you are on mute, I believe.
Just a second. Yeah. Okay. So the benefit of Azure Active Directory is it is a enterprise identity solution. It's a single sign-on, provide a single sign-on feature, like I need to enter credential at once and I can access other applications. So I do not need to enter each and application and enter password again. Then it Azure Active Directory, I'm talking about Azure Active Directory. It will provide me option to enable MFA, multi-factor authentication, like password plus SMS for code, or password plus any app for authentication, or password plus email. So it will allow me to configure multi-factor authentication so that suppose I am accessing Facebook. So I'm going to access Facebook. First I will input my password. Then I will get text on my mobile with certain code like we normally see when we go to F4 transaction, we enter our CVV and then it will give OTP and then we'll input OTP. So we have two things. What is MFA? MFA is one thing you have, the other thing you get. So you have got your CVV and card number and you get OTP and enter this OTP. So similarly, you have your password, you get your message, call or email. You can set any number of multi-factor authentication from Azure. So what is the benefit of this? The purpose is that I'm entering password. Someone might know my password. So when it comes to SMS, it will be more secure because I have my mobile. Or when I'm using app or email or any other service for multi-factor authentication, it's more secure. So this is the another benefit of Azure Active Directory. You get multi-factor authentication option where you are more secure than normally. There are other self services like password reset. So you can set password reset. Like normally what you do, you are using your laptop. Sometimes you forgot your password. Then you have to reach your help desk and ask them, sir, please reset my password. They will reset your password and then you can change it. This is the one way. When it comes to Azure Active Directory, you can implement self-service password reset. You have to go to one link, Azure link. From that Azure link, you can reset your password. So it will ask for MFA part like, okay, you do not know your password. I will send you text or I will send you email. So once you get email, you will enter your OTP or text. You will get any text, OTP and all, and you can reset password. So they will provide you self-service password reset. If there was no self-service password reset, you have to go to help desk or reach the concerned person for resetting your password. So that's the benefit of Azure Active Directory. Let's come to demo part again. So this is your Active Directory part. You can see this is your Active Directory. This is your tenant. What tenant is? My tenant is this. This is my primary domain or tenant. I'm using this. I can create another directory or another tenant with different name, or I can change this name to my custom domain as well. For an example, let me show you. I have another login with my own domain. So I will go to Active Directory. This is my tenant. I can add another tenant if I want. If I do not want any tenant, I can even change my domain from here. So you can see there are two domain. This is the by default domain. When I created, this is the another domain. It's not yet verified. I will verify it later. So once this domain is verified, then my username will be started like Nikhil dot Sarvagya dot tech or Ashit dot Sarvagya dot tech. Just like I've sent you my when I send email, it's my domain. So Nikhil dot Pandey at the rate Nikhil Tech dot online. Similarly, when I configure this Active Directory, I can change my custom domain name. What I have to do for the changing the custom domain name, I will delete this and I will show you how to add the custom domain name. Okay, delete it. I will add custom domain sarvagya dot tech. I have bought this domain from Hostinger. Then I have to input these details to the Hostinger for my own domain. So we'll log into it. I think this is different. Need to check it later. So what I need to do is I have to go to hosting site where I purchased the domain and I have to input these name like host name, destination, TTL. And once I enter these details, it will be I will select the verify and this will be automatically activated. From then like you host some website like www.youtube.com. So in order to make sure you can access youtube.com by name and you have youtube.com domain, you need to enter the details over the hosting website like GoDaddy or some other hosting websites. They provide the host name. You need to input these details and they will update their DNS server. So once DNS server is updated, further you can directly use this name like www.youtube.com. So it will redirect to YouTube IP like 13.1.1.1 and you will go to directly to YouTube server. Server will respond to you and you will be able to access this machine. So over here as well, I can verify my domain and details. And once this is in place, I can create user with my domain name. So as of now, when it comes to part, my tenant or my domain is this outlook.com. That's the Microsoft domain. Guys, is this good for today? Or should I go ahead? What do you say? Am I audible now or not?
Yes, yes.
I believe we are good for.
Okay,
Good.
so So what I will do, I will share your credentials today over your email with your username and password. You will go to portal.azure.com and you need to enter your username and password, and then you will be able to visit the dashboard and other things over the Azure, and you can explore these things, different things, where they lies, where how you can access this, how you can create it. As of now, you won't be able to create any resources, but you can explore these services, and further I will give you complete access to create these resources and build different services. Okay, guys. So we'll share credentials over mail. Make sure you do explore. There's no be- there's no be- so someone saying something? Okay, nothing. Okay. So make sure you do explore these services, because when it comes to learning, if you know you are not performing lab and you are not exploring things, I can only tell you 60%. And that's all I know. You need to explore 40% by yourself. The reason when I studied, when I did all and everything, learning, certification, all, I honestly studied 60%. Azure is very big platform. Even the one who is master, who says who is master on Azure, never knows everything, because they do update things very regularly. Like you might seeing one feature now, and after 2 months or 3 months or after a year, this feature will be gone, and there will be another feature in place. So you need to explore it. You need to see things, how it works, how it goes, and then only you will be able to go or work with Azure. Okay, guys. So I will send you the credential, login to the Azure portal. Do explore things what you can, and further I will in future I will give you the access and you can build services as well. Okay, are we good to finish today?
Yeah, thanks.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, I will see you tomorrow. And apart from that, there's one more thing. Give me a second, where is it? I will share this document. This document contain all the concept and theory what we are learning, or there might be something we are missing time by time. So you need to go through this, you need to explore this, and you have to spend your time as well. Okay, guys. So this is document. I created this document. I mean, honestly, I did not created this whole document. I just modified it from 5 to 7 other document. I used some Google articles. I used Azure, their Microsoft own articles, and created this. So it's a mixed document. It contains most of the things in Azure. Okay, guys. Any questions? Any suggestions you want to say? Nothing.
We could.
Okay. So we are leaving for today, and we'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil. Bye. Bye all.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye.